70 years ago this month, Georgia had something that no state has ever had, perhaps ever will have. 3 different men who had a legal claim on the governor's office, and all at the same time. And Augusta's Roy Harris was right in the middle of it. First, some background to what happened in January 1947. Governor-elect Eugene Talmadge had won his election months before, but died before he could be sworn into office. Someone close to Talmadge had noticed his deteriorating health and hatched a plan to deal with what might happen, quietly encouraging friendly Georgia electors to write in Talmadge's son Herman, who appeared to have some of his father's political instincts. Herman benefited not just from his political pedigree, but also was the author of much of his father's campaign platform. Just who conceived this plan has never been officially identified. Many people said it was a man named Gibson Ezel, a Jasper County merchant who was also a political operative. But Ezel said he didn't do it. Herman Talmadge always said he had no idea where this came from. But everybody sort of knew that if it was something like this, Roy Harris was probably behind it. That should not be a surprise. Roy V. Harris of Augusta, a connoisseur of cigars and camellias, was the biggest behind-the-scenes political kingmaker in Georgia history. A longtime legislator and Speaker of the Georgia House, he had an uncanny sense of state political power. The only thing you needed to get elected governor in Georgia, the old saying went, was $50,000 and Roy Harris. All this brings us to January 1947. So let's recap. Governor-elect Gene Talmadge is dead and can't take office. The Georgia Constitution doesn't really address what to do. And, oh yes, the General Assembly has come to Atlanta and the state capitol to sort it all out. Never a good sign. The Talmadge camp presented its legal claim, universally deemed suspicious, that son Herman should be elected by the legislature because he mysteriously seemed to end up with a bunch of write-in votes during the election, that his father had won easily. There was a problem with this plan, however. The new state constitution had created an office of lieutenant governor, which would be filled for the first time in the 1946 election. The new lieutenant governor, M.E. Thompson, thought he should be promoted to the top spot, but Thompson didn't have the Talmadge machine behind him. He also didn't have Roy Harris. And on January 15th, 1947, the General Assembly elected Herman Talmadge as governor, prompting Thompson to appeal to the Georgia Supreme Court. Well, as the legislature was electing Herman Talmadge governor, and as M.E. Thompson was headed to the Supreme Court to block it, a third thing happened. Governor Ellis Arnold announced that he was not going to leave office until this whole mess was settled. Both men set up governor's offices in the Capitol. Herman got to the Capitol first one morning and had the locks changed. This forced Arnold to set up another governor's office in the lobby. 3 days later, January 18th, Thompson was sworn in as lieutenant governor, and the Attorney General recognized him as acting governor. He set up a third governor's office in downtown Atlanta. 2 months later, the Georgia Supreme Court handed down a 5-2 agreement with the Attorney General that Lieutenant Governor M.E. Thompson should be the governor. Herman Talmadge surprised many by calmly accepting the decision and then immediately beginning his campaign to get elected governor in the special election. It worked. A little more than a year later, Talmadge defeated Thompson in a special election and went on to become a successful governor and then a longtime U.S. Senator. And Roy Harris, well, he went back to Augusta, smoked his cigars, tended his camellias, and just smiled when anyone ever asked him how in the world Herman Talmadge got elected.